Breaking news: Russia has sold 50 Su-35s to Iran. Russia supplied Iran with 50 Su-35 fighters in 2022, as reported on December 5, 2023. The going rate for one of these planes is around $80 million. Since Iran has been under economic sanctions for decades, the country's decision to purchase Su-35 fighter jets came as a surprise. The imposition of these sanctions was a real possibility for any country that disregarded them. Seeing an opportunity, Iran offered Russia weapons and other useful items in exchange for Russia's most modern fighter jet, the Su-35, when Russia was sanctioned heavily for its invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Iran revealed later in 2022 that it had received 65 Su-35s as part of the agreed-upon barter deal. Due to production halts caused by sanctions, Russia's Air Force currently only possesses approximately 100 Su-35s. The Su-35 relies too heavily on parts manufactured in the West. After learning that the Iranian UAVs it supplied were ineffective, Russia was hesitant to send the majority of its Su-35s to Iran. Egypt is still receiving Su-35s from Russia. According to reports, Egypt received only one-third of the 26 Su-35s it ordered in 2018. The fact that Egypt and Iran are bitter rivals adds another layer of complexity. With Israel and Saudi Arabia, Egypt forms an anti-Iran alliance. This presents issues in additional contexts. The Syrian conflict between Israel and Iran is going badly for Iran. Israeli F-35I fighters have had experience with Russian Su-35s in Syria and have a solid understanding of the capabilities and limitations of the Su-35. When faced with an F-35I, the Su-35 is helpless. After detecting the Su-35, the F-35I can launch missiles to bring it down. For Iran, who desires the Su-35 to bolster its military capabilities and thereby intimidate its Arab neighbors, this is of little importance. The Ukrainian Air Force lost 7 older Russian fighters and a helpless naval reconnaissance aircraft when Su-35s attacked and destroyed them in Ukraine. Air superiority over Ukraine was held by Russian Su-35s until Patriot and other Western air defense systems arrived. Another Su-35 was shot down by a Russian S-300 anti-aircraft missile, which had an issue with its IFF, Identify Friend or Foe, system and mistook it for a friendly target. The first Su-35 was shot down by Ukrainian ground fire. The fact that many interested parties are dependent on funding from other nations has made Su-35 sales challenging. Saudi Arabia was the only one who could afford to buy Su-35s from Egypt. The 24 of them that China purchased in 2015 were delivered to the country in 2018 for a price that could be paid in hard currency. In 2017, Indonesia made a purchase of 11 of these, and they started arriving in 2019. It was unique for Su-35s to be sold to China. Many thought this would be Russia's final warplane shipment to China due to the country's penchant for stealing technologies. Russia is currently operating more than 100 Su-35s, with almost the same number ordered. 4 Su-35s were dispatched to Syria in early 2016 to gain combat experience after Russia received its first batch in 2013. Especially when it came to delivering smart bombs made in Russia, these seemed to work. After that, Russia's own orders went up from 50 to more than 100. The Su-35 looks great on paper. Compared to its 33-ton ancestor, the Su-27, this 34-ton fighter is more agile and features superior electronics. Beyond the speed of sound it can travel. Its price tag is almost double that of the Su-27. A stripped-down version would cost around $80 million, which is comparable to the price of a top-tier F-16. The Su-35 can cost upwards of $100 million in export configurations. Since the F-15 is larger than the F-16, a single-engine fighter, the Su-27 was initially designed to accommodate it. Due to its larger dimensions, the Su-27/30/35 offers designers a great deal of leeway for customization and improvement. The Su-35 can evade detection by the majority of fighter aircraft radars thanks to its stealth technology. Russia asserts that the Su-35 can fly for 6,000 hours and its engines can keep going for 4,000 hours. Compared to earlier Su-27/30 aircraft, that one is longer. Russian officials boast an extremely user-friendly cockpit and state-of-the-art avionics. The Su-35 is even more agile than the Su-30s, which were Su-27s modified to be very nimble, thanks to the usage of numerous thrusters and fly-by-wire. After 20 years of research and development, the Su-35 was finally declared production ready in 2005. The new engines that provided its exceptional performance were not without their share of issues even at that early stage. Only time will tell if Russia's claims about the engine problems being solved are accurate. Russian fighter jet Su-35 isn't designed to compete head-on with American F-22 because it lacks the stealthiness of the latter. 150 30mm shells are stored aboard the Su-35's 30mm autocannon. The maximum payload capacity of a Su-35 is 8 tons, which can be suspended from 12 fixed points. The F-22 and F-35 are able to avoid detection by using an internal bay for missiles and bombs, which reduces their stealthiness. Aside from the F-22, maybe the F-35, and late-model F-16s, every fighter in the sky would have no chance against the Su-35 if its advanced electronics and maneuverability lived up to their claims. There were expectedly many purchasers, given that each Su-35 cost $100 million or less. Russia is keen to rectify this, if only to enhance the Su-35's image, since there were none before. One explanation for the high number of units sold to Iran is this. Russia also supplied Iran with jet trainer aircraft, the Yak-130, so Iranian pilots can learn to fly the Su-35 and other similar planes. Iran also got a few Mi-28 attack helicopters, which it can use to deal with separatists and rebels who aren't very well armed but still cause trouble. Air power is less important than diplomacy in the Egyptian sale. The Saudi-financed acquisition strengthens Russia's ties to the Arab states of the Middle East. Egypt and Saudi Arabia rank first and second, respectively. With over 400 operational aircraft and a large number of decommissioned Russian fighters, Egypt's air force is well equipped for any conflict. Western aircraft make up the bulk of the active combat fleet, with 210 F-16s, 40 Alpha jets, 90 Mirages, and 17 Rafales. Out of a total of 32 MiG-29s, 15 are currently in operation. By the time all of Egypt's Su-35s and MiG-29s are operational, the country's fighter force will be comprised of 106 Russian fighters, or approximately 25% of the total. Since Egypt views Iran as an enemy and Russia and Iran are now allies, the 50-plane Su-35 deal is likely to be Russia's last.